Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, everyone. After impossible weeks of actually being away, we are back. My name is Julie. I'm here with Marty and Federica, and this is Two Non-Critics and a Cat. How are you guys?
Oh, good.
I've missed you very much. You guys have been on holiday being harassed by cows and sheep.
Yes.
No, the cows were not harassing us.
Okay.
The cows were quite nice.
were very sweet, and
They were following,
Feds
okay.
was like the queen of the cows. But
And that's why in my
sheep's-
diet there's gonna be only lamb. lamb.
Sheep's a bit less. Like a flock of sheep tried to attack us, and Feds was very zen about it.
While I was sick
Too
at
much.
home.
She was
While I
like-
was sick at home, basically they were getting harassed by sheep. So I hope you guys
She
had
was
a,
like,
a
"There's
lovely...
Marty, there's a flock of sheep running towards me." She's like, "Too worried."
Is this fine? No.
And I went, "Yeah."
It was not fine.
No.
Yeah, it was like a horror movie. And they followed us for the whole, wall, whatever that was.
Yeah.
28 sheeps later.
For
Now
real.
I understand why they made a horror movie about sheep.
Yeah.
They
going
did,
crazy
yeah,
and-
they did.
Now I get it.
I think that
makes sense.
sheep and like pigs are probably the worst animals that you could get because pigs actually eat humans and
Ugh.
sheep could. So that's the thing, yes.
Anyway, yes.
Welcome back to our podcast. We've been
was
away for a
lovely,
while.
yes.
What are we talking today, Martina?
We're talking about the Netflix first. I think it was the first event that they held, which is the Tudum event.
I have never heard
I think this was the
name,
first
so
event
yes.
that they did live because they've always had the Tudum event, but it's always been like they're actually pretty good at advertising it on their channel. Like if you go on Netflix, you can watch the Tudum event afterwards. It's like, but this is the first time they was
did it
live.
Yeah, in LA, right? It was in Los Angeles.
I think so. Yeah.
So they have done it quite like Disney style with the D23, you know, and they do it live and they present basically what they're gonna release during the years, during the year with some guests and some.
It's basically like what they do. I wish. What they do at Comic-Con that they release like the Marvel movies, yeah. Which is a great thing to do, to be fair, because some people are actually informed of what is coming out, and there's a lot of things coming out.
Yeah, so what did you watch this week? Anything interesting?
It wasn't this week, but I think it was last week, but I think I got my feel for enough TV shows for the month, because I watched Bodyguard from the BBC with Richard Madden, which I was absolutely in love, and I think that came out like 5 years ago. And then I watched The Sandman over the recommendation of Feds, which was an absolute knife in the heart to know that they cancelled it, but they will have a final season. It was unfortunately only 2
I'm
seasons.
still gutted.
The BBC ones, it was an incredible show, to be fair, and it was one of those shows of like English TV that you actually watch and like, wow, they're actually good. Like English people know how to do TV shows, and it was basically a story of an agent on MI5, MI6, and he works in the government and he tries to protect one of the PMs, the parliaments, or whatever it was. And he failed at some point through an intricate line of problems that happened to him. And also he suffers from PTSD, and he's never announced that on his job or like on his work profile or anything. So he has to keep it on himself. And it's a very, very beautiful portrayal of PTSD through a work that does not suit PTSD. And I should know that since I want to study that. And I've had it for a semester. And yeah, it was really, really good, and I really liked it. The Sandman was completely another thing. It got me stricken down completely on how beautiful it was. The man's voice is impossible, honestly. How is that man a real thing? The whole narration of the start of the few episodes, it was just like, I didn't even know where I was. It's like it kind of takes you and throws you into another universe. And I think that the story is very interesting of all the demons and how the dream world will collapse without him. And I'm very sad that they actually cancelled it. And
not for ratings, unfortunately.
not for ratings, no, but they actually did decide to cancel it and just ended up with a third season. But it's good that they were able to end it up as a third season, not like Sense8. I remember that there was a uproar of like fans. I know that you guys both like it, and they did like
episode.
a final movie. So it's very important that we actually get a closing line on this
I'm
TV
hoping
show.
so, yeah. And it makes me quite sad because it's a really interesting concept, to be honest.
It's a beautiful concept, and to be fair, it's not one that's been explored enough. And dreams are one of my favorite things to see, as it is like Greek mythology and stuff like that, and mythology in general. So it's very, very interesting.
And also like the intricacy of like how everything, every realm caters to humans, although we are the powerless.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like the human that don't do anything. Like we think that we're very powerful, but then there's like deities behind us that control our everyday living. It's like even the sleeping disease is ridiculous, because if you think about it, if anything would have happened to humans that impacted the way you sleep, it would be like a horror movie, because sleep is the most natural thing that you need. And after like 48 hours of no sleep, you probably go insane. After 1 week of like, I think you would survive without sleep for like 72 hours or something like that. And then you would like clinically go insane. It's like hallucination. It comes everything after that. So it's very interesting. And I absolutely love The Sandman.
And I feel like there was a massive, powerful cast.
Oh, absolutely. Gwendolyn,
like-
the woman of my life.
Yeah.
Her
it was
interpreting...
it was pretty inclusive as well, like Desire, like all of them.
I think that
Some
Desire
of the
was a
main
great... I think that Desire was a great call to be...
I love their realm, because although he does father a child.
Yes, true. That's really like... It's a mix in between his sexuality and how they present themselves, and like what is happening.
Desire has no sex.
Exactly. It has no sex, it has no gender, it doesn't care. So it was very
great.
interesting. And also the fact that Lucifer was Gwendolyn, so... Let's be honest. So that was a great call. What else did you guys watch?
Nothing. The shits.
Martina. That's not what you're supposed to do on a movie a podcast.
I
What
know,
do
but,
you
She
we
probably
were at the
watched
Lake District.
Oppenheimer again to
We
test
went,
her sound bar.
we were at the Lake District in a tent.
I
What
have
do
you.
want me to
I have
watch?
you remember that we watched the last episode of Game of Thrones in California on a phone. Me
Yeah,
and
but
our-
we didn't
and
watch
one of our
it. We
friends.
played cards.
Yeah,
Okay,
there was
fine.
not a lot of internet reception.
There was not enough
I am
internet.
watching Oceans, which is the new documentary by David Attenborough.
That is very
after
beautiful.
this podcast. It was released in cinema for a week, but we were away, so I haven't seen it in cinema. They released it today, 8th of June, on Disney Plus. So I'm watching it after this, because I love David Attenborough, who just turned 99 years old.
99.
God bless him. And he's doing great for the planet and for us, to educate us to respect our planet and
take care of
nature.
it.
And take care of it. And so I'm watching this. Nothing else. I'm gonna watch Elio, Pixar movie coming out in preview a week before it comes out.
I saw the poster the other day on a bus in mid-London, and I was like, "What is that?" I thought it was a sequel of what's the name of the Italian
Luca.
Disney? Luca. Yeah.
No, it's not even the same director actually.
It looks
So
similar.
I'm going to see it in preview, and there is a Q&A with the directors, and then I'm going to see 28 years later with Julie, who's gonna be my bodyguard, because as you know, I don't like horror movies.
I cannot wait for that day. I will make sure to bring some gear.
Yeah, and then but we haven't. I don't think we watched anything.
No, I've just been rewatching The Sandman before I left, and keep on doing it today. And I think on Wednesday I'm gonna go watch Ballerina.
Oh, from
because
the
I'm
John
a
Wick
John Wick slut.
universe. All right, so
I'm gonna watch that.
let's go to the matter hand. So we had the Tudum event in LA live for the first time, as we said, and there was a lot of like engagement with fans. They've tried to do what they do with the D23 at Disney.
San Diego,
yeah, and Comic-Con.
You gotta build up somewhere.
Yes, which is a good thing, because Netflix is obviously now one of the giants, if not the giant of entertainment, at least in terms of market cap. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Stranger Things Season 5.
And I have to say something immediately.
Yeah, go.
So the dates of release of Stranger Things 5 are going to be in 3 parts, which is going to be November 26th, December 25th, and December 31st. Now, everyone was in uproar for this thing, and everyone was incredibly angry about it. There is one thing that they need to understand. There is about 65 hours of shot footage of this TV show. And if they did it all together, it would have had about 45 episodes. And the episodes are probably going to be an hour and a half long, each of them. And it's definitely going to bring it close to a massive amount of questions that we have about Stranger Things. And we need to remind ourselves that Stranger Things has never missed a beat. So I'm sure this decision wasn't a problem. No, but there is more than 60 hours of shoot footage.
Also, what I want to say is that
I know you're very against the culture of binging.
Binge watching, okay? But these productions are costly. It takes a year to shoot something like this. And there is a lot of money and people depending on it.
It took them more than a year to shoot this.
Yeah, and when you release something in cinema, it has a return from tickets selling.
Yeah.
When you release it in streaming on a platform like Netflix, it doesn't have the return that it has in the cinema, because the only return that it has is if you subscribe to Netflix only to watch that. So obviously, to have people at least subscribing for a month, okay, which, I mean, you can pay £5 to watch Stranger Things. They obviously release it in 3 parts, because otherwise it is just too costly to create quality shows that are then released on a streaming platform. So they obviously have to create a business that is sustainable, and for that reason they don't release things in one go anymore for their main products.
But there is also an ungodly amount of footage, so I don't think they could have done it anywhere and differently.
Yeah. But I do appreciate what they're doing. Also, I feel like people need to be educated,
on waiting, on patience.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you need to wait and you need to enjoy. The thing is, I get binge watching, but I normally force myself not to watch more than 2 or 3 episodes at the time.
No, I'm a very big binge watcher, but at the same time I don't enjoy the concept. I can binge watch something that's been out for years.
No, I don't necessarily. Of course, me too. If I've seen it already, then it's fine. Yeah, but if I haven't seen it, I force myself to watch 2 or 3 episodes. Also, because the thing is, when you're watching something, it doesn't matter how much you love it, but after a while, your attention span obviously decreases, so you enjoy it less. And so I like to, space it out a little bit more. But
to the trailer, it's very beautiful. It's very heavy. There is some fans theories that's going on Major Death, which we saw a few years. I think it was a year back. There was a massive spoiler that came out on who was screaming and stuff like that. So we kind of guessed it, but I think that it's going to be a beautiful ending to many years of great talent.
It wasn't really a trailer though. It was a date announcement.
It was kind of like a sneak peek,
probably a teaser.
They
teaser
showed
trailer,
because I counted them. They I think they showed about
6, 7 frames, of the new ones, which
from
were
the
at
movie,
the end.
which was Winona Ryder, Joyce with the axe, and there are some of the boys behind her, but they are not on focus, so I don't understand exactly who they are. There is a scene with Mike defending a group of kids. I don't know if they are new characters or just.
There's a scene with Caleb as well that is in the hospital, which we've already seen. The thing is, we've already seen all these scenes.
Yeah.
We've already seen all these scenes because the shot actually came out.
Maxine
like
and Lucas
months
at
ago.
the hospital, yes. And then there is Hopper with 11 in a moment. Hopper with a long beard. And then there is Will shouting,
Screaming.
run. Yeah, screaming.
Which was the
And the
massive
mother of
leak.
Mike with Mike's mother with the sister hugging like in fear.
Yeah.
And the army finally freaking army realized something happening here. You know.
To be fair, it's crazy that this battle has been brought by a police officer, a woman,
And a group of
on
children.
drugs, and a group of children. Honestly,
When I
Like,
saw the army, I was like, wow,
a psychotic
finally.
breakdown
in
woman
the
and a
80s,
group of
everything
children.
can happen.
that is
Honestly,
true.
yes. I mean, you can see that they're
Yeah.
battling a demon.
But okay, I cannot wait. Stranger Things is one of my. When we did our favorite TV show episode, Stranger Things was one of them, and it remains one of them.
Yeah,
I find
I
their
agree.
way to write a script absolutely masterful. The way that they intertwined at the end, and they all like kind of survive by themselves, but then
think
they
that
all come
I think-
together at the end.
I think that the Duffer brother will have a legacy from this, surely.
Yeah. So I can't wait. That's the only thing. The only thing that I can say is that we waited a long time. I can't wait, but we did wait a long
Yeah.
time. What is it? 2 years? 3 years?
Yeah, no, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
3 years, I think.
I think 3 years.
I think so. 3 years.
Yeah.
We did not expect the whole massive scene that came out. It was one of the best scenes that we ever seen from the last season. So I can only imagine what they will do this season.
I can't wait.
Aye,
The
that's
season with the fighting of Vecna
The
in the
fourth
last
one.
episode, it just I found it like one of the best sequences I've ever seen.
I was blown away. Absolutely, they wired the pathway, the neural pathway in my brains. Absolutely. So the next one is Squid Game, which is going to be season 3. I know Marty is not very fond of this. I was very fond of the first season. I was not very fond of the second season, but I was basically forced to see it by my friend, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm very excited that the third one is coming out. The trailer.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The second season ended on a cliffhanger, a very epic cliffhanger, and we're all waiting to see where the frontman and the main character will go by and how they're gonna fight each other. But I think that the end of the first season compared to the end of the second season was completely different, and the first season ended on something very unsure to be continuing. The second one ended on give me the third season right now. So I think that's going to be very excited. I don't understand why they're playing the games once again. They will be playing the games once again, apparently, and there's going to be the same main character in it. And I don't understand that, but we saw only 1 or 2 shots of the frontman, so I'm not sure what is going on there. But by now, we know all of the secrets of the frontman and his family and his brother, so I think that they're going to explain a little bit more of what is going to happen with them, but specifically, and why they hate each other.
There's like a huge hype from people that really like it, and then you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I'm just like, I'm not interested in watching it. I don't know why, like, that concept doesn't appeal to me for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
neither.
true. I understand. I know that you guys are appealed by the concept of Wednesday, though, season 2.
Yes, we saw it. All of us saw it, right? The
Yeah.
first season. Okay, so this is from the twisted brain of Tim Burton, who I absolutely
Twisted, beautiful
love
brain.
and adore.
My father.
Yeah, season 1, I found it was great, and I thought it was a return of Tim Burton to what he knows best, what he does best, is
To his previous glory.
to his
yeah.
gothic world and his storytelling. I absolutely loved it.
It's like it was kind of like the revision of Alice in Wonderland. It's not a revision, like it's the actual story of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, is and obviously, so when Netflix announced that Tim Burton was doing Wednesday, I was like, yes, that's his thing.
That's exactly what he's
That's
supposed to be
what
doing.
he was born to do, exactly.
Yeah.
So Netflix went big on this one because they not only released a trailer, but they showed the first 6 minutes of season 2. Have you seen the first 6 minutes of season 2?
I haven't. I've seen the trailer though.
Feds, did you? No, so she's going to the airport, and they stop her at the airport with any kind of weapon possible.
That is in
entire
the trailer,
planet.
basically. Yeah.
Yes, and then they actually are okay with everything, but not with the sunscreen. But the first 6 minutes are basically her explaining that she has this obsession for a serial killer. They used to kill, I think, girls or something, and had dolls to represent the person that he killed. And she has an obsession for this guy. She wants to find him, and apparently she finds him thanks to one of her visions, and she ends up in his, at his table with the doll representing the victims. But then she manages to basically escapes thanks to the help of her hand, and she apparently, she looks like she's about to kill him very badly. These are the first 6 minutes, and then they released the trailer, which is mixed. So they showed a lot more than what they showed for Stranger Things. There is a full finished product here. I don't know if Stranger Things they are at the end of post-production or not.
I think they might still be working in post-production for Stranger Things, especially because, as Julie said, there's a lot of footage and probably a lot of work to go around. So potentially, in that case, Wednesday might just already be done. And I don't know how they're going to release it, if they're going to release it all together.
2 parts.
2 parts.
August 6, apparently, not confirmed yet, part 1, but they said September 3rd for part 2. So they confirmed that it's in 2 parts.
Okay, good.
I guess for the same reason that we were talking about.
It makes sense.
Quality costs so much money, and yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense, and it's more digestible in a way, because sometimes, like, people tend to binge watch and then you forget what you watched.
Yeah.
Like this, instead, it's a healthier way of consuming entertainment.
Yeah, they're trying to educate people. Yes. And
I mean, we are from the generation that used to run to the bathroom when there was a commercial.
Yeah.
And then being yelled, "Come back! The movie's back!" So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and
there was also a lot of controversy around the Wednesday season 1 because of Hunter Dawn, apparently, but I didn't remember how that controversy showed up at the end.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Because of what?
Hunter, one of the co-stars, basically was like involved in some sexual harassment scandal. That's what they did. But I don't think how it ended up at the end.
No, I don't think so.
No, but also, I mean, the show shouldn't really suffer because of one of the stars doing anything,
Well, The Sandman was sacked because of the creator, but that's okay.
Literally, the Scream movie franchise, the new one,
that
was
is slightly different
by...
when it's the actual creator. But like, if one of the cast does something, who cares? Like, just like this.
No, it wasn't even him. He was associated by somebody else. There was in some kind of sexual harassment allegation, so it wasn't even him.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, but anyway, did you see the trailer of
Yes.
Wednesday? Okay, what do you think? Because Feds know, because we were together. I was a bit scared because I was like, why, Tim, do you do this again? Like, I think. So I
What's
loved.
wrong with it?
So I loved the edge of horror that there was in Wednesday season 1. But this one, I don't know why. When I saw it, I was like, it's a bit too much. Like,
Did you feel like it was too splatter?
it wasn't. It's not. It doesn't show anything. But just the fact that he's a serial killer, killing girls, and having this, I don't know, just the theme, the topic. I thought it was really, really strong, and I'm scared that he's gonna
pretty
splatter it too
contemporary,
much.
to be
You know?
honest.
It is pretty contemporary, but at the same time, the first season was about a wolf. You know what I mean? It was about an animagus that was going around killing people.
No, I just
like
yeah, I know. I just hope he doesn't do it too much splatter, because I fucking
I hope he
hate
does.
that. I hate that, and it's not in his style. It's not, and he's not successful when he does that. So I hope it's not. That's what I thought. But then they didn't show anything in the trailer. It was just my assumption due to the nature of the topic, really, you know. But I liked the trailer. I really did.
I wasn't incredibly obsessed with it, but I think it's gonna be a good season. I'm not immediately I'm not in the immediate event of being excited for it. I'm more excited for like Stranger Things or other things that are coming out. But yeah, I mean, it's good. Tim Burton is one of the best. So
Feds.
The obsession with death. No, I like it. Like, it's, to me, anything that is gonna come up with is gonna be probably in character for her, because it's pretty macabre anyway. And there's this pursuit of this kind of like dark justice. So I don't think it's gonna be too much. I think it's gonna be just right.
the thing that I can adjust for sure is on the fact that Jenna Ortega is going to be fantastic again, because I don't understand why everyone turned around to her to say that she was too much or like she was too bitchy, and I was like, this girl is fantastic in what she does. Whatever
she is
is
fantastic in Wednesday. The only thing is, I would like to see her do something else.
She is fantastic in a lot of other things, because even in the newest Scream that she did, she was great. She has a very good part of herself in like terror kind of like acting.
I don't know. I see her in very similar roles.
I've seen her in there was a Miller's Girl. I think that was the least appropriate role for her, and I didn't even like it. I think it was a very small charge of movie, but at the same time, when she did the Scream one, the new one, she was great. She was actually great. So I think her acting is very terror-like. So I don't think she's gonna strain away from it anytime soon. And I think that starting with Tim Burton is gonna help as well.
I feel like, Marty, the reason why you think that she doesn't have a lot of range or she's doing similar thing is because as soon as Wednesday had this kind of success, then she was casted by him for Beetlejuice 2, where
She does practically the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
then
that's
she
why-
was in another horror movie franchise, so it's like it's the same thing, you know.
And
But
then I read also, I think I'm kind of biased, that I read that she's playing like an artificial intelligence robot in the new film by Taika Waititi, and I thought that's more or less what she's played,
Like
the robotic kind of
non-emotional,
yeah.
expressive.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I like to see. I'm sure she's great. Like,
The
I really
thing
like
is,
her,
I don't think-
but I'd
I
like
don't
to see her
think-
do something different.
I don't think as a person she's very apathic as she is supposed to be looking. And I think she does a great effort turning that back on by playing Wednesdays or like
but again,
an AI intelligence.
Honestly, I really think she's great. Also, there aren't many actors that have range. Having range doesn't necessarily.
She's also very young.
Huh?
She's
She's
also
also
very
very young, but like having range is not the only mirror to see if an actor is good. Because honestly, there aren't many actors with range. Even some of the greatest actors don't have
They do
much
always
range.
the same thing.
Yeah, So Yeah. Talking about Wednesday, just one of the moments that stole the show was obviously Lady Gaga emerging from a coffin, performing Abracadabra and Zombie Boy. And she was confirmed with a role in Wednesday season 2 as Rosalind Rotwood, who is, I think Fed said was one of the professor, Nevermore, because obviously she's back in Nevermore.
Yeah.
I think she's always great in TV shows, to be fair. I don't know, Martina, you obviously haven't seen it because you throw yourself off the balcony. But she was in American Horror Story. She was in American Horror Story and Hotel, and she played the most beautiful part as the Countess. That she's lost her child and like she was a ghost basically roaming around the hotel. And she was with Matt Boomer as well, and she has played an ungodly amount of characters like this, but she's great. She's gorgeous. She's fantastic. So I think I'm very excited to see her in TV shows whenever she pops up. And she always has that gothic style. Like she was literally playing in American Horror Story, but I'm very excited to see her.
Okay. And we're back. So after talking about Wednesday and Lady Gaga and everything, we're jumping on to another master of kind of like horror or quirkiness, which is Guillermo del Toro, and is a rendition of Frankenstein. I think it's been quite surprising because they announced that there's not going to be a theater release for this one. Am I wrong?
I think they're still kind of thinking about it. Because there's been requests from fans and so on, but
there's also been...
They're not meant to, though.
There's also been, like, something else that Guillermo del Toro has done, like the Cabinet. I don't remember the full name. It was a very long name, but the Spectacular Cabinet of something. It was a TV show on Netflix. So I don't think he's very prone of actually releasing things on this, like, on the big screen. And he's just doing it for Netflix.
I mean, this will be after Pinocchio, I think.
Yes.
Is his next movie. And before that, something similar was The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
So he's always been fascinated by like weird horror, strong creatures.
He's a bit of a goth as well, no?
Yeah, he's
very
but
goth.
He in a softer way, I want to say. There's always a human connection to it. Like he's not completely devoid of emotions. And he's always on the side of the less likable. So all the people that are deemed weird. I think because he does see himself as the weirdo. So he kind of like embraces that. And Frankenstein is the same.
He's a softer version of Tim Burton.
He is. He's more like the not accepted or left out of any kind of like lunch table.
Also, it's
school.
funny actually. I never thought about how these two are very similar in terms of taste and so on.
You never thought about it.
No, also Guillermo del Toro uses a lot stop motion, which is what Tim Burton loves.
Yeah, they
also.
basically come from the same like way of doing things. So that's why I thought we put them next.
Even though they haven't studied together, because del Toro is from where?
He's, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Mexican.
I think so. Yes.
Or Argentinian. Yeah.
And Tim Burton he was born in Burbank and he studied Cal Arts. So I don't think they studied in the same school or anything. It's just
no,
such
he's
a
Mexican.
coincidence.
I was right the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Mexican.
I feel like Guillermo del Toro is... So they do partake in similar stories, like this, or the way that they portray things is kind of similar. But Del Toro still uses... it's still kind of like about acceptance and love. So he's a softer version of a goth.
A softer
if you want to say it that way.
I
he's
think
a softer
the
version.
title of my autobiography.
Also, I think Del Toro gets lost less than Tim Burton.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you have a complete arc in his stories. Like there's a character development that is much more detailed. And there is a growth throughout, and there's no it doesn't get lost in the details, although the details do make the story better.
Guillermo del Toro reminds me of Junji Ito, which is a Japanese artist that does bone-chilling horror mangas, and I think that it's kind of the same thing on the arc of actually having it to start and end. In one.
Tim is not always like that. Like for as much as I love him as an artist, especially. he gets lost in his own quirkiness and in his own way of doing things. He gets lost in his twisted, like brain and sensibility.
He always like. I find interesting that he always finds really well-rounded characters to tell a story about, or the things that he creates, the vision that he has. He's always kind of like.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, it moves you in a way. Like you find a lot of emotion in his stories, like especially the last few that he directed. And he's kind of like a traditionalist, so he likes to celebrate good traditional stories without swaying away from it too much. So it's like he uses his talent to celebrate other people's works as well. And I think this one is going to be a pretty good celebration of the beloved Frankenstein's doctor.
Yeah, and he has Oscar Isaac as Victor Frankenstein and Jacopo Elordi as the monster. We've seen the trailer. I really liked it. They don't show Elordi, no?
No, I find it interesting that he chose a pretty much subjectively or objectively good-looking guy to play the monster that has always been depicted as a monster.
And ugly.
But I think his way is to show that in reality, the real monster of the story is not the monster, but is the doctor.
But also we have seen what Skarsgård has done of himself to play Nosferatu, so we're not against like beautiful people playing monsters. I mean,
yeah,
that's true. But I feel like it's gonna have a good spin to the story, and I mean, with Oscar Isaac, it's kind of like winning really easily. It's like having the best hand at poker, because that man he has such a way with facial expressions and body movement. He's like, I think in a way, it's kind of like a theater actor.
Yeah,
because he has a command.
He's Latino. I think that's what it is.
So I feel like, I mean. There could be different reasons. Do you remember when we were on holiday, we were talking about this, and our friend that works in a PR agency was like, potentially it might be because they want to
they want to invest
bring
on
attention to other titles that might be more Oscar worthy, because remember that Guillermo del Toro is an Oscar nominee.
He's an Oscar winner director.
And he's an Oscar winner.
He won.
So it kind of brings in a lot of buzz around him, and every kind of his movies like touch the audience and the critics alike in the same way. Like he's one of those few directors that kind of like never makes a step wrong. There's always something that is appealing to different categories of people, like either being the audience or being the critics. So it could be good to have it as a theater release to make it eligible, but they might want to
invest
push
in
other
something
projects and invest in something else.
I think they're gonna. The thing is, I think they are suffering from the last few years not being recognized in the award season, despite putting quite some effort in the campaign. So I think this year they want to focus on things,
In the past couple of years, every time that I went to the London Film Festival, a lot of the movies were produced by streaming platforms, and there was a lot of Netflix, not the same as last year. Last year was a lot of Amazon Prime and a lot of Apple TV and a lot of Disney Plus, and there was few more normal production houses like Universal, Paramount. More of those came back because during COVID most of those kind of like suffered from it, while Netflix was thriving because they were still producing everything that they could. So I think like there's a switch again, and I've noticed that in the past couple of years where other bigger production houses or Amazon that has like, honestly, they throw billions at a project, so they don't care about spending money on promoting stuff. While Netflix, I feel like sometimes they're more selective of what they choose because they want to be still like they want to be taken seriously. So I think that could be the reason why. Who knows? But they might change their mind if they see that there's a bigger platform or a bigger fan base that is requesting the movie to go in theaters. And it might have the same feeling as what's the name of it? The one with Crimson Peak. No. I think Frankenstein has the same kind of flavor of Crimson Peak, so that's why they might be a little bit wary because that one wasn't particularly loved. Mm-hmm. Although I found it quite interesting, but it was really, really violent. I think it was the most gruesome of the movies that he made, and I'm one of those people that love The Shape of Water. So
me too.
I liked it too.
Me
honestly.
too. I absolutely loved it. Some people hated it. I don't understand why.
I cried with The Shape of Water. There's the one of the scenes where they're submerged in water and they're embracing each other. It's just like I feel like it touches you in deeper levels the way that it goes into these stories. Whenever it's like it wants to make you understand, like embracing the differences.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really curious about this.
That is also another similarity between Del Toro and Tim Burton, that they always explore this theme of the diversity and being isolated and being the outcast. You know.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
very interesting. I never stopped thinking about it, but it is true. Anyway, let's move on. Feds and Julie, Knives Out 3, Wake Up Dead Men. There was a teaser. Premieres December 12th. I think this is the third installment of Knives Out. I feel like the first one was very successful, the second one a bit less, and the third one is coming out now. I don't know, what you think?
I think that the Glass Onion wasn't very successful for the sole reason that Chris Evans wasn't in it. But the first one was very successful. And it was actually very, very good. I think that the second one had a complete different touch to it, to be fair.
I like both of them. And I might be the only one, but I enjoyed the second one. I watched both of them at the London Film Festival. The first one, I was laughing so much, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. And when the second one came out, I still found it quite interesting. Like, the concept of it was really, really good. So I'm like, I think sometimes people take these movies too seriously. And not take them for the way that they're intended, which is just to purely entertain people. And I find it hilarious the way that you see how Daniel Craig is portraying his character. It kind of feels like he's performing as a caricature of what James Bond was, because he doesn't take himself too seriously. He has this weird accent, this little pouty mouth across the whole movie when he's like being pensive. And I mean, like, as long as your expectation is what really this movie is, which is to purely entertain people and just bring them on a journey, I mean, like, there's nothing to be disappointed about. I found the writing always really clever, although the structure of it is similar because it's the same structure for both of them. The writing is still original for the both of them, so I kind of enjoyed it. I feel like
so Matt Damon and Ben Affleck presented the
Tudum.
But the only thing, honestly, that I cared about that announcement was that I got to see Matt Damon in the Odyssey kind of.
We are very excited about the Odyssey, as you can
yes,
tell.
because he had, he was not in costume, but he was with this hair for the Odyssey and so on.
And that we're gonna talk about it for sure.
His shape and whatever. So, yeah. Also, there is most likely a teaser being released very soon. Apparently, yes, for years we've been talking about. And then there is a lot that Netflix has produced, but they didn't advertise in this event, which I guess they will want to do like a separate marketing campaign for. They bought Peaky Blinders. They financed the movie. So I think they will want to do a separate thing for that, because they actually spent a lot of money to buy the picky. API. So and other stuff. They have financed a lot of other stuff that they haven't presented in the event. So I think they will want to keep something for the rest of the year as well, like to market in a different format. Also, I think for awards season. So probably the ones that we didn't see teased in this event will probably go to the marketing campaign for awards season. But they're spending a lot of money in strategic content marketing. Like they have always done some of that, but not to the level that they're doing now. I think they are a bit tired to be on paper the most gigantic entertainment company, but then actually in terms of rewards and prestige, they're not up there yet, because you still have like Universal winning everything. You still have, well, not Disney, but the usual suspects, and they are not up there yet in terms of awards and prestige and recognition. So I think they want to get there. That's probably their change of strategy for investing more in quality and keeping some money for campaigning for awards. But we will see, I guess.
Oh, definitely. There's always a pressure of doing that because it allows you to unlock more money.
I think that's it for today. I think that's it. We are blabbered enough. And we won't be back in 3 weeks, we promise.
No, we'll be back
next week.
Definitely.
Yes, that is true. So
indeed,
you cannot miss the YouTube recap and follow us on Instagram as well. And we're going to post a bunch of behind the scenes content. And enjoy your evening. That's it.
bye.
Bye.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.